there's something really elusive about Judge Rinder's crime stories, and that breaks my heart because this has to be definitely one of my favourite TV shows ever. So I'm not going to spoil anything in this video. I'm not really going to call it a review either because I think I'm just going to be gushing about how much I love it and how much I love Rob Rinder and how inspiring I find this show. Maybe inspiring is not the right word to use given the level of crime in these episodes. So I'm not going to spoil anything, so if you can watch it, you're free to do it without me ruining anything for it. But it is so difficult to find episodes of crime stories. At the time of recording, there are 2 episodes currently on ITV Player, or the ITV Hub, as I believe it's now called. That's the second half of series 6. The first half apparently aired back in March. I wasn't aware. It's really poorly advertised. And I think it's probably advertised around the same time as Judge Rinder is actually on, which is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But because I don't watch Judge Rinder on TV, I watch it on iPlayer or ITV Player or whatever it's called, I didn't find out about it. So if anybody from the production team of Judge Rinder's crime stories, which I assume is the same team behind Judge Rinder, but I'm not 100% confident, they need to advertise it better, and they also need to make it available more frequently, because it's never on ITV's website after it's, I think it's on there for about 30 days after it's aired, then it doesn't get repeated and I get heartbroken. But other than that, the show is incredible. Now, as the title suggests, Rob Rinder, under his alias Judge Rinder, looks at different crime stories. And ironically, there's a siren in the background, and my apologies if you can hear that. And the concept of looking at crime stories is not unique. I, like many people, am very addicted to true crime documentaries, and I think ITV does them very well. What makes Rinder's crime stories that little bit extra special is that, for those of you who don't know, Rob Rinder is a criminal barrister. He's got many years of experience. He dealt a lot with fraud, very high-profile cases, and actually he was involved in at least one of the cases in this show. So he has a very fascinating perspective. He's not just some random presenter they've got to talk about these. He actually knows what he is talking about. And he talks about these things passionately, but unbiasedly, apart from when he reveals that he was actually involved in one of the murder cases. And I think that gives him a brilliant perspective, and I think it just adds that little bit extra dimension. The documentary episodes themselves are incredible. Rinder narrates it. We get some piece de cameras with Rinder. Then he has some voiceovers. We have footage weaved in, audio recordings, crime scene photos, anything that will highlight this case to us as a viewer, anything to which the public has access or to which ITV can have access, which is always paramount for me. I hate it when true crime documentaries use stock footage. If they're talking about a murder or, blood spatter analysis and they just use a stock photo, it doesn't make it feel real. It makes it feel like a drama rather than a documentary. But Rinder's crime stories is fantastically edited. I can't think of a single episode that I've seen, and I will admit there are some episodes that I haven't seen because they are just non-existent. If this was released on DVD, I'd snap it up in an instant. It used to be on Amazon Prime, is not currently available for purchase. My heart cries, and I really want to get my hands on these episodes that I haven't seen. But it looks at, I say mostly murders, charges of quite brutal battery. There is an episode here that I haven't actually seen, that I've got the description in front of me, is about a baby for sale, and it covers all kinds of different things, but at the end of the day, they're all very dark, brutal crimes. They're from all over the country. It doesn't just focus on one place like a lot of documentaries do. It really is a catch-all for fans of true crime. If you like true crime, this has absolutely everything for you. It will not let you down if you can find it. I would go as far as saying I prefer Rinder's crime stories to Judge Rinder, and also Rinderland, which was, I think, renamed or retitled The Rob Rinder Show. I think this is his best show, and I wish there was more of it. I wish it was more accessible. If anybody knows where I can watch it, ideally legally, I would be very, very grateful of that information. If anybody has any, if you recorded it from the TV and you have it on a disc, I will buy that disc from you. It's obsessive, or I guess I'm obsessive over this program. Absolutely fantastic. I cannot fault it, and I know I'm slightly biased because I am madly infatuated with Rinder, and I do think he's one of the most perfect people on this earth, and I'd love to just, dig right into his mind and have a proper route around it. But with crime stories, we get at least his expertise in the field as a barrister. I completely love this show. If you haven't seen it, please try your best to see it. But as I said, the show is not very good at being accessible. Other than that, perfection, absolutely love it. You do have to watch it if you can.